Don't move, Joey. Watch out. Break Cass's leg. Stewie.
So what should I do with this?
It's out.
Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Goldenacre for round 4 of the Masterton Trophy. We have Heriot's Club against Royal High Corstorphine. Heriot's have won the toss and decided to bat first. You have Lloyd Brown on strike, Peter Ross non-striker with Callum Clarkson bowling. Next to me is Arnie Sathiy from RHC. Arnie, welcome.
Thanks very much, Khaliq. And first ball of the day, Callum's bowled a half tracker, bless him. And Lloyd has helped that away over short fine leg for 4.
Good start for the Heriot's lads, I think. Good to get underway.
Pleasant to be at Goldenacre today, and very pleasant to be here today and actually not be minus 400 degrees in the wind as we get heckled by a passing George Lambie. Very well. Ken? Can you hear me?
Well, the ball's been lost from that half tracker. Arnie's mic isn't working. Good weather though, and good vibes at Goldenacre, so can't really complain. For those who don't know, Callum Clarkson is actually on the groundsman here at Goldenacre, so he should have quite good knowledge of how the pitch should play. Goldenacre, being the road that it is great for batting. So yeah, good start for Heriot. We've got a lost ball currently, which is hence a delay. So I will leave you to A, us trying to fix the microphone so you can hear Arnie, and B, play to resume here at Goldenacre.
Can you hear me?
Ball has been found here at Goldenacre, ladies and gentlemen, and we're good to go for ball 2. Lloyd Brown, skipper of Heriot's, also former South Africa under-19 bat, also in the Scotland A squad for the recent fixtures against Nepal. And here's Callum Clarkson for ball number 2. Good delivery, looks like the arm ball just padded away to a short mid wicket. A little bit shorter in length there from Cal Clarkson. On the back foot, Lloyd Brown again, just gets the bat over it, dot ball to square leg. Little bit fuller there. Diving Callum Clarkson couldn't stop the ball, unfortunately, and they scamper through for a single. I think off Peter Ross's bat, actually. So call that what you will. Peter Ross on strike here. Former Scotland women's head coach, and in his younger days was a seam bowler and played for Leeds Bradford MCCU, so very high standard of cricket he comes from. First ball, and Peter Ross has chipped it to mid-off. Nice slower ball there from Callum Clarkson, enticing Peter Ross, known to hit big, into shot there. And well caught by Syed Aziz Hussain at mid-off.
Well, we've got a little break here as number 72 walks out the park. Josh Elliott. I'd like to always, as is my want, discuss the height differential between Adrian Neal and his dog, which has to be close on 7 feet. Josh Elliott is the Heriot Pro, is that correct? Overseas, I apologise. Which side of South Africa? Disappointed for Peter Ross. I've always enjoyed Pedro having a slap. Often goes at 200 plus, but out for a blob today. So Josh Elliott from Joburg strides out. There's a couple of Joburg lads in the RHC side. Cameron Hunter, 16-year-old youngster, actually at school at Royal High, but folks are from Johannesburg. And here's Callum with the 5th ball of today's game.
Josh Elliott flicked off the pads down to fine leg, and they settle for 1. So 2 South Africans. Lloyd Brown, former SC under-19. Josh Elliott, the Lions Academy side, out in Joburg. And coming on to bowl from the pavilion end is Kess Sajad. His first year at RHC, if I'm not mistaken, plays Irish cricket in the West. Has made the move over to the East. Has taken a decent number of wickets actually this season. He's at 12 wickets from his 8 games, bowling average of 22 and best 4 for 40 against Aberdeen in the Scottish Cup.
Kess has joined us over the winter, I think partly through his contact with George Munsey at the ECA at Cargill, the coaching clinics that George and Craig and various others, and Peter Ross in fact, organise in the northwest corner of Edinburgh. Kess Sajad has played for West, for Pollock, and now here at RHC. Famous father, played a lot of first class cricket back home in Pakistan. A lot brighter than people seem to think, young Kess. I think he got first in maths, stats and finance. He's looking to work in private equity. Bowls a heavy ball. Very full ball there, pitched just outside leg, worked away for 1 to Callum Clarkson at deep square.
Josh Elliott, non-striker, in his 2nd season here at Heriot after coming over from South Africa. Scored plenty of runs last season, including 141 against Watsons in the league. Full ball there, outside off to Lloyd Brown, and padded away to mid-off for a dot. Full ball with outside off. Lloyd Brown helps himself to a sumptuous drive over the covers, over the infield, 1-2 bounce, 4 runs. Thank you very much. Nice easterly breeze here at Heriot. Pleasant, not as windy as it usually is, so good for Kess. He got a little bit of a way swing as he comes here again to Lloyd Brown. On the back foot, dot ball to cover.
A long conversation with John Blaine about Kess Sajad the last couple of weeks. I'm delighted to say that Blaney has agreed to work with Kess as soon as term time is over. 5th ball of the over. Full ball. So full it's hit Josh around about splice, hit pipe, but not called a no ball there. Final ball to come. So I think watching Kess this summer and 3 odd years ago at West, I feel he starts pretty slowly and then suddenly explodes into life, but is often guilty of pitching up a wee bit too much too soon. But some good captaincy there from Owen Gould, clearly aware of that, and has put a man back early doors there. Rob Thompson fielding at long off, and that's the over. Callum is going to continue with the 3rd over. Callum is 25 years now. He's the groundsman here, as Khaliq was saying. Somehow played well over 100 games for the RHC First 11, and your dear commentator here was watching the 3rd 11 play as a young Callum was making his debut at not far from him here at Bangham, and quietly wandered out during a drinks break and asked Fraser West to bowl him. Dot ball there, lovely bit of cricket all round. And he promptly took 7 for 7 as an 11-year-old in an East 8 game, and the rest is history. Slightly quicker ball there, pitching leg stump, and work straight back to Callum Clarkson again. He's come to Heriot's groundsman, who seems to have grown his hair extremely long, lanky, and refuses to wash it. Well weighted there from Elliott, worked away to long on for a single, fielded by Cameron Hunter. Fourth ball, short of a length to be honest. That pitch just outside off, work to Kess Sajad at cover. Callum, as usual, after 4 balls, waving. Nothing changes. Bless him. Oh, and chip straight back. I think Clarkson thought there a bit more pace on the ball returning to him. It was early on the catch. Got both hands to the ball. Sadly, shelled it at his feet, coming in waste time. Survived a scare there. Last ball of the over. And that's a dot ball fielded by Anthony Dunford, who is a 4th year at Stirling University now. Played for us 2 seasons ago. Moved back to Stirling where he was in his first year. Didn't love West cricket, it would appear, and has come running back. Very engaging young man, pretty shy on the outside, but when you get to know him, proving he's got some banter by growing a horrific moustache.
Fill there by Kess Sajad, and hit to Sathiy at mid-on for a dot. Another full ball by Kess Sajad, catches the outside edge of Lloyd Brown, and dot ball straight back to him. Alright, so he's slowly growing into this game here, bowling well. full ball again. Lloyd hits through the covers, straight to the man, dot ball. Kess Sajad settling in quite nicely here from the pavilion end at Goldenacre. Into his second over, went for 6 in his first. Outside off, Lloyd Brown hits it straight up into the air and caught at a pointish, coverish region. I think that was Syed Aziz Hussain again with the catch, took the first one mid-off as well. And in next is Vian Maritz, Heriot's wicketkeeper, second year at the club. Vian scored 110 runs last season in the Masterton Trophy out of his 4 games, going an average of 55 and a strike rate of 180. So let's see if he gets going here against a pretty fired up RHC attack. 2 quick ones here, pegging Heriot CC back. Two more Sathiy at the crease as Emirates joins Josh at 8.
Oh yeah, Kess, come on! Yeah, fellas!
Skipper Owen Gold opening up here for Vian Maritz, bringing across mid-on to mid-off and mid-off into the first slip. Down the leg side there from Kess Sajad, and that is the first wide of the game. First extra.
No idea how many viewers we have at home listening into the live stream, but I tell you, sitting here next to Khaliq, watching him work the laptop, pulling up stats at will, absolute future Yas Ryan, picture hybrids sat next to me. It's joyful to watch. We have 36 people watching now, 764 subscribers. Heriot's fans, do try harder. 47, I apologise, leaping up into the top 40. Trying to work straight there, has ended up coming off the outside half of the bat to Syed Aziz. Final ball of the over fielded for no run. And I have to say, unlike pretty much every other visit in my last 25 years to Goldenacre, it's unseasonably pleasant and warm, even though we're sitting in the shade. To see Owen Gould skippering the side in George West's absence. George West, first 11 skipper, dashing left-handed bat, quite the Harry Flashman character for those with any sort of reading skills listening in. Is at a wedding in York Minster this evening. Very fetish college of him. Good bit of flight there, looped, bit of dip from Callum. Fielded easily at an extra cover from Anthony Dunford. Owen Gould now marshalling his troops, bringing Dunford in a couple, setting Kess back on the circle and cover. As Elliot has rather top-edged, but easy 2 there, sort of slog sweep / paddle hybrid, fielded by Lakshmi Narayanan Srirangam. No, that's my wife's maiden name. I'll come back to that. Error on my part.
Back for length there from Callum Clarkson, and Josh Elliott to punch straight back to the ball. Slower one there, a little bit more loop from Callum Clarkson, and Joshy helps himself to a single hit down to skipper Owen Gold, of course, captained the under-19s a year and a bit ago. Trooped a famous win over in Namibia in the last over. Last over win that was quite the tense game. Callum Clarkson into ball again, fuller length and well dotted back by the Emirates. Andy over there from Callum Clarkson, Kess Sajad taken off, and Anthony Dunford into ball. University of Stirling graduate.
Dunners, as he's universally known in the EH4 department of Edinburgh, can bowl a heavy ball, but given 6'4", weighing in about 100 kilos, could bowl a heavy ball, but chooses to keep it around about the should have been ball in Scotland 73, 72 miles an hour bracket as he trundles in. Does have a decent cross seam, likes to bowl in duckers, rarely does, and when he realises he should just settle in after the length, he will take 35 wickets a season, but not very many given his height and his very tall, highly repeatable action.
Nice delivery there from Dunford, and well fielded by John Van Zyl at cover. Fuller length there, and Josh Elliott helps himself to a single to deep cover. Fuller length there from Dunners, and well kept by Owen Gold standing up. Why are you standing up? Big swinger is Anthony Dunford. Not in that sense, he swings the ball very well.
And I think that's why I've given up cricket, because I can't tell anymore this far away from the ball. Could you actually see that moving on?
Watching back live from
So there's proof, ladies and gentlemen, that commentators are actually also sort of cheating. Quick shingle there taken, and very well run there. Underhand flick there from John Van Zyl, who is at cover. Van Zyl is 22 now, I think. Yet another Durban character turning out for RHC. SA under-19 keeper, played for Dumfriesshire last year, is at Stirling Uni. There's a theme here. Dunford comes into bowl, fourth of the over. Tempting little ball there, bit of a way swing I think, and a bit of seam movement off the seam away from the right-hander, and that was indeed the final ball of the over. Dunford, I think, there is an extremely good cricketer in there. If he could just let his natural skills come through, I wish him very best for his career. He's a very humble young man. Family are over here now as well, and it's a real privilege to see him develop as a youngster.
Now on to bowl is the very nice and the very kind Ayush Dasmapata. What a man he is. Bowls these lovely, lovely leggies. Former Scotland 19s, has played his fair bit of Scotland A as well. So very capable with his leg spin under the tutelage of Khaliq as well.
Yush, as we know him universally, or Lego Head, is just one of the good guys. He's a fourth year chemical engineer at Edinburgh University and has just settled right in. One of the chaps, never unwilling to go out, work hard at the ground, all the things you want in a club cricketer, in a club with the means of Corstorphine. And unlike every other leg spinner on earth, at 21, 22 years of age, doesn't ever need to warm up, very rarely bowls a bad ball. He just lives in that dicey world of being a leggy where batsmen seem to think, well, I'll just climb in regardless.
I can say I've had my fair share of facing Yushi in the nets, and I fall for his traps every single time without fail. Very smart, very clever, may I say devious bowler, Yushi is. Flighted there, Josh hits it straight to Dunford at cover. Full ball there from Ayush. Josh has swept it down to fine leg, and the ball is gone for 4. Good chase there by the two RHC fielders, but just evades them. 4 runs. Little bit short in length there from Yushi. Punch to the cover region by Josh Heriot. Ayush with a highest of 4 for 14 this season against Meagle, also in the Scottish Cup. Seems to be a theme here of RHC boys bowling well in Scottish Cups. Fly to delivery, and Josh helps himself to 1 at a deep mid-off. Full there, swept by Via Merit, and they run a good 3 as the ball heads down to fine leg. And that is the over from Ayush, and I suspect we will have Dunford on again from the pavilion end. That's 9 off the over from Ayush. Working his way into his little spells that he gets into. Yeah, as is predicted, Dunford onto ball from the pavilion end. Vian Moritz, Heriot's wicketkeeper, facing. Deep mid wicket comes into a standard mid wicket. RHC have got a deep square leg, deep mid on, fine leg, and third man. So lots of space on the leg side for a quick tap and go. And offside is fairly packed, so I think we know where this is going to be. Full ball outside off. was indeed a full ball outside off, swinging away, very well taken by keeper Owen Gold and very well bowled by Anthony Dunford. Looked like he bent his back a little bit more into that delivery, which he should keep doing. Yeah, great take, good cricket all round. Well done for Vian for not hitting it. Full ball that goes out to deep cover for a single. Josh Elliott on strike. Another full ball outside off, swinging away, making it difficult for the batter with Owen Gold standing up, as both Josh and Vian trapped in the creases, trying to attack or defend the outswing delivery of Anthony Dunford. Slightly bit shorter there from Dunford and well taken by Goldie. Josh would think he's missed out on that short wide one. Slightly straighter there, Josh takes it off his legs, quick single to mid-wicket. Good running there from the Heriot's batters.
And Khaliq, obviously, you play here, get to play on this surface every other week. What would you say is par?
I don't play many T20s, but for the 50 overs, par in the ESCA Championship, you get 200, 225. You're in a very good chance of winning with the way teams tend to collapse in the Championship. For T20 of two teams this caliber, I say we're looking at around 150, 160. It's looking difficult at the moment out there for the Heriot's bats. 30 for 2 off their 8. So going at just under 4 and over there. So these two will want to... I think they've had enough of getting themselves in, probably. Just get on with it, really, is what I'd say. It's a great surface out there at Goldenacre, always is. Two very, very capable batsmen. Facing, to be honest, some very good bowling as well.
Young Mr. Maritz, or was it Maritz? Where's he from?
Also from South Africa, a fellow of Lloyd from Nelson Mandela University, captained the first team over there.
There's some super knowledge here in the commentary box today, but for the viewers at home, there is no commentary box. We are on a bench just to the right of the pavilion. Stunning view of the Golden Poo Hotel, the W. We can't quite see the castle, we can just make out the Tattoo Stadium as Yush comes into bowl again. And top edge straight up to... shelled by Owen Gould there, just overrun it and dropped a fairly simple catch. I think he'll be the first to admit that. Just got there a bit too early and also looking straight into the sun, I think. But he'll be disappointed with that one.
Owen has taken 14 catches this season with the gloves, 4 against Nepal for Scotland Day a few days back. So he will not be happy with that. Yushi wouldn't mind as much because he's just an all-round good bloke. Sensible there from Vian, just patted down. Dot ball, straight back to Ayush, that's Mahapatra. Yushi into ball, Vian makes room, straight back the bowler, excellent fielding there at deep mid-off, and they run a 2. Sathiy again, ball just keeps chasing him, 2 catches, excellent in the field. What more can you ask for? What more can you ask for? Excellent diving effort. straight back behind the bowler. Little bit shorter there from Ayush. Vian makes room again, cuts it to Callum Clarkson at backward point. Good fielding. Yushi into bowl, and Vian hits that down to long on for a very sensible single. Good batting. And that is over bowled from Ayush. We are at 38 for 2 after 9, so slowly picking up the pace. I think a little bit more is required, but they'll get there.
A little bit of a conversation with Director of Cricket here, Joe Kinghorn-Gray. Quite happy with progress, 2 down, but would like the run rate to creep up a little bit, if at all possible. Hasn't looked at the deck himself, like all great club cricketers. Hasn't bothered to look at the facilities. God love him. Commentator here, Arnie Sathiy, obviously very, very friendly with Joey. Has known him since he was 11-ish, joined us from James Gillespie's school, along with the likes of Ozzy Malik, Kevin Meyer. Kevin now very senior program engineer out in Germany. Ozzy Malik, surveyor. Short there from Cam Hunter, single fielded at deep cover. Cam Hunter, 16 years young, very tall, elegant bowler. Needs to back himself a wee bit, but is just flowing into the game himself. He's played 2-3 games now for our first 11. Good wicket taker in our second team. 1 division down from the Heriot's 2s in East 1.
Full there from Cameron Hunter, and Josh helps himself to 1 outside off over point, and excellent fielding from third man. Good running from the Heriots boys. Just touch on Cameron Hunter. 2 runs, yes. Part of the Scotland 19 setup. As Arnie rightfully said, played a few games for RHC. Took 2 against a very, very good Forfarshire team. The big wicket of Callum Garden, who was out in 96. And as you can see, you got Dougie Voas here bringing on a spare bat for Josh Elliott. So some may say this is signs to come of a big innings. A lighter bat, I don't know. He has about 25 bats in his kit bag, and they all look the exact same. Virat Kohli MRFs.
Heriot's commentator there saying lots of bats. Change of bat, change of fortune. I'm saying a bad workman blames his tools. Cam Hunter walks in, bowls the 4th ball, and this has blighted his career. A bit of a stutter, but delighted to say that he now pulls out and doesn't bowl a no-e. Good to see him developing as he gets a bit older. His father will be here somewhere on the boundary, I'm sure. Yeah, there he is with Rob Clarkson at deep mid-wickets. Comes into bowl again, and that's a wide ball just passing the hip there of Moritz. I've always wanted to be an asset saying correction, Elliott. Pitched up just outside off. Easy, comfortable, elegant drive to long off. Fielded by Saeed Aziz. One of the more colourful characters in the RHC setup. He's 26 years old, has an electrifying TikTok account and Instagram feature, lots of reels, lots of set to music, lots of bomb squad images of him pulling all sorts of balls in tape ball cricket and Maidan cricket back home. Lovely sound off the bat there from Vian Moritz as he thunders one off to the cover boundary. Well fielded by Tyler Stagg. Normally opens the bowling for us, but scored some runs the other day. He's got a bit of a shoulder strain. He's parked out on the boundary. Elegant cricketer. Bombed an 89 not out in a losing cause. Rain affected game. We lost by 7 runs against Force. Rather sad. Cameron Hunter bowls again. Same ball as the penultimate ball. Received out to Saeed Aziz at long off. Feels it comfortably. Lobs it back in. Rob Thompson strolling around at mid-on. The father of this team at a very young 31. Not everyone's cup of tea, Rob Thompson, but he's definitely my cup of Ceylon tea. I'm a huge fan of his work. A lovely man. Mortgage broker of the year twice. In a long-term relationship with a lovely Hannah. Good-looking fella. Plays golf off 7. Is very much living the dream. Just a bit short of a length. Pitching on middle. Struck to mid-wicket comfortably by Moritz. And I'm beginning to feel quite relaxed here, so I don't mind a bit of banter. Khaliq, let's hear some of your noise.
Skipper Owen Gould has a said with Father Thompson about what plans there is to come to outfox the Heriot's batsman. Ayush on for his 3rd here. Potentially going to be bowled out. We shall see. Ayush going at 7.5s in his first 2. Vian Moritz makes space and clobbers it over cover for a 1 bounce 4. Sumptuous shot. Yushi replies somewhat well, I'd say well. Fly to delivery, a bit fuller. Vian Moritz makes space again, hits it to cover. Slight misfield from Anthony Dunford allows a single. Josh Elliott now on strike. Ayush for his 3rd delivery. Shorter one there from Ayush. Seems a bit of a drag down. Josh Elliott cuts it out to a deep point. Great fielding from Kess Sajad out at deep point, and great running as well from Josh and Vian. Slightly full delivery. Josh Elliott sweeps it, and some good fielding at a short fine leg. Vian Moritz makes space again and hits it a very, very long way over Longman's head. You might be able to hear the Heriot's bats, the Heriot's men, I should say, in front of me.
This is the wonderful thing about midweek cricket. A single. Wonderful thing about midweek cricket in Edinburgh. Strides up to sit beside us here in the com box. Fraser West, the second or third of three. Third of 3, the youngest of the West brothers, son of the incredibly famous, fearsome striker of a cricket ball, Harry West, Big H, known universally around the Corstorphine area of Edinburgh. A mean lawn bowler as well in later life. Sadly no longer with us, but any old Herioters, George Moore somewhere up north, maybe still in Edinburgh, who knows, will have had a bit of a tonk off Harry back in the day. Famously cleared the pavilion at Union Park, which, if memory serves, is 112 yards straight hit uphill. So I'll let the mathematicians out there do the maths. Lovely man. Side, 2 sons that play cricket and one that I think has turned out once for Corstorphine, and it remains a massive letdown for us. Nice bit of chirp there from the tallest man on earth. Lovely shot there for 4 over extra cover, 3 extra cover, sorry. Hit like a tracer bullet along the deck there. Poor Catherine Edwards, an old Fatesian strutting around at Heriot's these days with her telephoto lens. And that's the 50 up between these two batsmen of 46 deliveries. Elliot on 20 off 25, and Moritz off 30 off 26. They've definitely up the rate there. Now nearly going at 6s. Much more business-like from the Heriot's chaps at 3 and 4. So wide ball there from Cameron Hunter. It's now gone for 13 off 1.3. I would imagine Owen Gould, skipper, thinking about rotating his bowlers in the Under-19 World Cup, where he bagged himself 185 runs at 48.5. I think he may have been in the team of the tournament. Very tall for a keeper. Cameron Hunter into bowl again. Well, he's bowled a very effective short ball there that Moritz has had a swipe at. Agricultural attempted hook. It's played under it. Surprised by the level of bounce from the youngster.
Cameron Hunter well bowled in the legs. Emirates flicks it to mid-on. Very, very quick single from Emirates, and they just make it in. Interesting story about Owen Gould. He started off as a seamer. Always could bat very well. Started off as a seamer. Moved to leggies. Went to keeping. Back to seam/leggies for university, and is now stuck with the keeping, which is, to be honest, probably the better decision out of the bowling options he has tried. Cameron Hunter into bowl, outside off. Josh Elliott, lovely cover drive out to deep cover for a single. That makes it 7 off the over with 1 ball to come.
Another one of the joys of modern technology here. I'm being chirped by the current president and vice president of Heriot's Cricket Club, neither of which I would like to point out are actually at Goldenacre tonight. Sean Weir at now, I think, Northern Business Director of Gaucho. Sean is a Sri Lankan, runs an Argentinian steakhouse. And Ali Farouk, nobody really knows what Alawadin Farouk does, but my word, he knows how to rock a pair of espadrilles. Found a ball of the over there, another single. Both chirping me, one encouraging me to tell Khaliq and any listeners a story about how I once taught the Queen how to play a forward defensive, which did happen, but not in 2010, Ali, 2011. And Sean keeping it slightly more polite as vice president. Quite right too, Sean. Saying he wish he was down here to heckle me. Boys, you've been missed, but we have more listeners than actual spectators, I'm told. So it's one for the commentary team. Go Khaliq.
Arnie, I would love to hear the story about the Queen and forward defence and 2011. Just before that, Callum Clarkson on to bowl. Bowled extremely well in his first 3 overs. 3 for 10, 1 wicket, big wicket of Peter Ross. In for his fourth and final over here. Goldenacre bowling to the Emirates. Full delivery, the Emirates hits it down to mid-off for a single. So, fielded again, very rightly points out by Arnie by side Aziz Hussain. The ball is following the man. Callum Clarkson in again. Josh Elliott makes the space and cuts it out to a deep point.
So young Callum Clarkson quite often takes a wicket with one of his last 2 balls. So he's gone 3.2 overs and gone for 12 runs. Comes in to bowl his 3rd and is bailed. Pretty average signal there from the umpire, George. Couldn't resist. Apologies, George. Just nearly got him through the gate there. Slightly slower. So Callum's working on his pace, taking the pace off. I think that comes with time and confidence. 4th ball here. And he's bowled him. Is that commentator's curse or a little bit of a boon there? Vian Moritz is out. He's played all around one there, which has gone on to hit the bottom of middle and leg. He's out for 33 off 32. So that's the 3rd wicket to fall. Score on 69. 69 for 3 off 12.4. So that has the brakes on there. Vian Moritz was beginning to accelerate. Lots of talk about the Queen. May she rest in peace. I'm on private school grounds. I feel comfortable talking about this, despite my public parks cricket heritage. In fact, yeah, overwhelmingly surrounded by public schools, I fear. I will tell that story if Ali Farouk or Sean Weir out there invite me back. Rob Moore, my dear friend Robert Edwards Moore, King of Scotland, he loves hearing that tale. Of course, Rob, Craigie Adams, Kevin McLaren came to play for RHC, I think when there was a bit of, I assume, can't remember because I was generally pretty drunk back then. Bit of turmoil here, changing of the guard, I think, not quite sure, but yeah, Kev jumped over to join us.
Ryan Brown into the crease now. In the 2023 Masterton Trophy, he was leading run scorer with 258 runs at a staggering 370 strike rate, averaging 51.6 with a high score of 174 against Edinburgh Accies. Almost gets done first ball, bottom edged it down to a short 3rd. Chips it over Callum Clarkson's head for a single. Very economical, very well bowled there from Callum Clarkson. 13 off his 4 overs and 2 big wickets. One of Peter Ross, first ball, and Vian Moritz, who was 33 off 32.
Slightly disappointed by Khaliq's inability to bring up the 2021 stats, where yours truly was the leading run scorer in the Masterton T20 with 132. A lot of rain that season. Averaged 132. I think hit 13 bombs. Did run out James Dickinson, who then played for us, as we chased or failed to chase 180 odd at Grange. It's a full Grange attack. I got 66 not out, but there were 100 plus Edinburgh Uni cricket fans not having a clue what was going on, all singing my name. And this one's for the RHC listeners. This is, oh my word, it is Robert Thompson, who somehow, age 31, has found himself being a strange option, military medium, slow medium bowler. Watch out for the short half tracker that will be climbed into. My car is at cow corner. I'm slightly afeared.
Thompson, Ryan Byrne helps his team at wicket out to Kess Sajad for a single. Josh Elliott on strike, going at 22, I think it is. 22 off his 27. Sensible innings this, and need an anchor out there, and he seems to be the one doing the job. Single down to long on. Via Merit's telling us it is very tacky out there. Hence probably explains why batting is a little bit tricky. So it should be interesting to see how the RHC boys get on. Ryan Brown bowled on the legs, flipped it out to deep mid-wicket, and I think there's Jono Van Ziel with a pretty standard catch, I would say, but he didn't want to take it. That was Ryan Brown out. Heriots are 72 for 4 off 13.4. Going at around 5.5. Ex-RHC man James Dickinson next into bat.
Watch out, you'll be sued by the boys at Portgow Place, ex-Grange, then RHC. They're now a proud nail wearing 87. Tiny little man, recruiter. I'm not taking credit for that, but let's whisper it. Kevin McLaren, still a recruiter. I am taking credit for that. George West, recruiter. Probably taking credit for that. Jambo strides out to bat. A little bit undercooked here from the nails. 72 for 4 off the best part of 14 overs. Rob Thompson taking the wicket of Ryan Brown. They'll be chatting about that in fingers, no doubt, one night soon. Although Rob is thinking of settling down, and maybe that Rob Thompson doesn't live here anymore. James Dickinson and Rob Thompson, they've locked horns a few times. Nothing funny than watching James Dickinson lock horns with Adrian Neil when James was the RHC captain, and they swapped a bit of chitter-chatter about height differentials. Back on that topic yet again.
James Dickinson, of former under-19 skip and Scotland Day leg spinner as well. About to face the first delivery, keeper Gould standing up. Trundling in there by Thompson, padded away to cover, and pretty comfortable single by James. Wide ball there from Thompson down leg side. Spilt by keeper Gould. One ball left in the over. Very economical so far, only going at 4 and over. I spoke too soon. That's another wide. We're on the offside. Slower ball attempted. I think it was the off cutter from Thompson, and one more ball left to come.
Typical Tomo there, suddenly thought he was, I don't know, Dermot Reeve, Warwickshire boy. Just finished it over, Robert. But no, our bowl one almost on the next deck. But does finish with a dot. Just picked up a wicket. Bobby bonus there for your 5 off the over. And the nails crawl up to 79 off 14. My rudimentary maths, that's 5.57 and over. Perhaps not, 5.5s. Coming on to bowl the 15th, I would imagine is Anthony Dunford. Yes, it is. Bizarrely, I just managed to pocket call Omar Henry from my phone. Not quite sure there. I heard a South African voice in the background, and it was Omar. And I apologised. I must now send him the link, so someone in Stellenbosch will be watching shortly.
Anthony Dunford on for his 3rd here, going at 2 and over, very economical. little away swingers might not swing now with him bowling against the wind here. But we shall see, because he's known to swing it both ways.
So I'm just chatting to Khaliq here, Edinburgh, born and bred. I'm North Surrey and Dulwich. Started medicine. I was forced to consider that. Managed to break free by running away to Scotland. Straight drive there off Dunford from James Dickinson. Elegant as ever. Pretty nippy little man, but turned back by the non-striker there. Mr. Elliott takes a strike, still on 23 off 29. He's got to anchor the innings here, and these boys need to be patient, perhaps go for it in the 17th. Strangely effective delivery there from Dunford, sort of pitching knee height, on the full knee height, but given his height, I think that always causes a bit of alarm. Ball coming out of the sight screen, but top end of the world's tallest sight screen, and the south end of Goldenacre.
Down leg there by Anthony Dunford, stopped by Keeper Gold, swaying his arms around. Good stop there. Catch delivery. 2 off the over so far. Outside off there by Dunford, cut away by Josh Elliott, out to Kess Sajad at deep cover, and that is a single. .78 for 4 are Heriots after 14.3. Dunford in for his 5th, I think. Straight ball, finds the outside edge, stopped, very good stop I should say, at a short third man by Lakshminarayan Singaram. What a name, I must add. Very flashy orange spikes. Big fan of that. I say that because I also have that exact pair of flashy orange spikes. Dunford, down leg side, Josh Elliott helps it along his way to 4 runs.
Lakshmi, or as I would say, being a Sri Lankan Tamil myself, Lakshman, he has just the broadest smile, and he either gets out for naught or bombs 100 for our 2s, and therefore is the next cab off the rank. Succeeds George Gill, who arrived, I'm told, a little bit tipsy for a 1s game and pulled his groin on Saturday. Lakshmi and George and Johan Joseph scored, I think, 334 for the second wicket a couple of weeks ago for the 2s. RHC 2's pretty well set. That was 1 out to mid-wicket to finish the over from Dunford. 8 off. 9 apologies. Let down by my colleague. 9 off. So he's conceded 13 off his 2, going at 6.5s. Ayush is coming on to bowl the 17th over. And Leggy, fairly risky behaviour, and he's gone at 10 so far, Ayush, and that's unfair because he's bowled well, but Merritt's got hold of him a few times. So that reverse sweep there from Elliott, it's just a shot that I wouldn't have been even allowed to play if my hips did work 25 years ago. Slightly short there, very well played from Elliott there, just waited on it, rocked back onto the back foot, pushed it back to long on to the boss stick, Pritt stick, gluey Saeed Aziz, who just can't get enough of the ball. Hughes comes in to bowl. Oh, and that could well be. Hit James Dickinson square in the box region. The unmistakable sound of Kevlar / plastic composite material. No damage done, no run. Looking back on the repeat there. High, not too high. Passing the offside. Turning too much from Ayush, Lego head, lovely man. He's brought it back well in this final over. He's gone for 35 off 3.4. Changing the field, Saeed Aziz, gluey, steps forward into the ring, and a man has been put back for the reverse sweep. We've got a long off, a deep square, and a Cowie deep mid wicket. Oh, it's a great shot, not intended, but he's managed to get a very thin, thick edge. Fine for 4. Would have gone through sort of second slip. The 9 off, 1 to go for Yush. Can he finish strong here, or is he going to concede at 10s? He won't be thinking about that. He'll be thinking about which global energy giant he's going to end up being the owner of. Another attempted reverse there from James Dickinson. Yush does not concede off the last there. Goes for 39 overs off his 4. I think, Khaliq, you'd agree, rather unfortunate figures conceded from his bowling.
Yeah, I would agree. He bowled well, has bowled well, always does bowl well. Vian just took a liking to him, and that happens in cricket. It's something that happens. Well bowled, Ayush. Dunford on for his 4th here. Also very economical. 13 off his 3, just above 4s, and swinging it as usual. Keeper Owen Gould standing up. James Dickinson to face. You have a deep cover, deep mid off, a long off, long on. Full ball, 1-2. I think it's Saeed Aziz Hussain again. Cover, dot ball. Dunford in for ball number 2. Just 1-2 square leg. Agricultural hack, straight out of Farmers Weekly, I would say that is. But he gets a single.
Yeah, definitely a May calendar shot there in the NFU Mutual calendar. Very ugly, but effective at this time of the innings. Leg cutter there, bowled from Dunford, chipped into point. Quick single there. Yush may be thinking about his figures and wasn't on the front foot, prowling around as he normally is. Good to see. What have we got here? Sri Lanka, India via Aberdeen, and the Hillfoots of Pakistan on the Punjabi border in the offside. Sathiy bowling. Lovely pick up there. And a very simple, elegantly timed 6 there, just front of square from Elliott, who moves on to 41. Economy of effort there, I think. Just calmly flicked it. No effort at all. Let's just go around the field here. Kess Sajad, a lot taller and a lot more slender than I remember. Tyler Stagg at long off. Jono Van Sale at long on. So we've got Sri Lankan, Aberdonian Indian, Scotsman via Pakistan and Kess, Saeed, couple of Saffers on the southern boundary, Cam Hunter at cow, and Tomo at deep square. Owen Gould to keep marshalling away. Decent young fielding side. Corstorphine definitely made their mark today. Another agricultural hack. And Ayush Dasmahaputra. Shells one running round to his right from just shy of point to just in front of point. And yeah, heavy disappointment there, but that's a single to Elliott. Moves on to 42. Score moves on to 102. That boundary in the previous ball brought up the 100 off 18.3. Correction, NASA, 16.5. I apologise. I don't have 7 laptops like Khaliq does, and I'm obscured by Kenneth's wonderful tech setup, so I can't see Charlie Clark's scoreboard. Is Charlie in the score hut? Ah, Mr. Turner.
3 drop catches today from the RHC boys. One from Owen Gold, one from Callum Clarkson, and one from Ayush Dasmahapatra. We have Kess Sajad coming back onto bowl from the pavilion end. 7 off his 2 overs, got the wicket of Lloyd Brown. Just the 1 wide from him, so keeping it within the borders, within the limitations. He has pretty much everyone out on the leg side. You have your long on, you have your cow, you have a deep square. He's also got deep cover and long off. So lots of gaps in the ground as he runs in. Heavy length there. James Dickinson really waits on it and plays it well for 1 on the leg side. Kess brings square leg up and sends 3rd man back, potentially indicating he's going to bowl a full outside off here. No, bowls a heavy length into the body and another drop catch at 3rd man. Off the knee, says Arnie. Bounced, hit his knee, straight back to Owen Gold, and they come through for a single. That is Josh Elliott dropped twice now, twice in 2 overs. Craig Elverton, if you're listening, give the boys some catches, please.
He won't be listening. He'll be coaching, but he will be furious. So it was a bit of chit chat amongst the ones who shelled 7 or 8 catches at the weekend. Long talking to, not delivered by Craig Elverton for once. Kess going pretty lightly, to be fair, for Kess. Sometimes he gets a bit of tap unfairly. Lovely short ball there, James. No, Elliott, sorry. Shouldn't be just patting that back to the bowler. Bowled slightly slower ball, half tracker. And he's just patted it back gently. 3 off so far. Kess has gone for 10 off 2.3. I don't know, Khaliq, if you like this little notice is the beginning of his action. There it is. Little sort of cock of the leg. Elliott's really, I mean, there's a giggle coming in the commentary box and I'm talking, so it's not me, that's a Heriot laughing at his own batsman. That's Elliott, who's sort of tried to play a swipe that he wasn't going to time, so it would have just plopped into the hands of Lakshmi, who's promptly sent back for that shot. So let's see if he can play an actual slog sweep and clear the man. Kess comes into bowl, his final ball, and he does get it away off the glove, I think, as he tries to sort of paddle that away for 4. Finishing the over with a 4. Kess has gone 7 off the over and has gone for 14 off his 3 overs. And it was, by all accounts, off the toe. Heriot's move on to 110 off 18. Which is 5 nearly 6. Yeah, 6 is an over. In fact, bang on probably 6 is. And 6.11, thanks Khaliq. As ever, T20 cricket, things seem to get a bit slow. The temperature drops at Goldenacre. This commentator's thinking about a beanie at tea. Khaliq has more hair than I, however, is probably not so worried about his mental and physical well-being. But trust me, young man. 38 this pair have put on. James Dickinson 11 off 10, Elliott 24 off 16. And the Manhattan here showing that most runs conceded of 15 in the 11th. But wicket shed around here, so on with the 19th. Anthony Dunford charging into bowl. And it's Cameron Hunter, age 16, given the 19th over. Dickinson has tried to play an orthodox hook shot there, front square, and has, well, it's done him for steepling bounce there from the young man. Now, he has got a slower ball on him. Strides in. Dickinson lost his shape there, tried to force the ball into the leg side once again. Plenty of protection out there. So perhaps we'll see another Elliott scoopy sweepy thing. Again, Monty Lynch, Barbadian, England, Oval legend, would be shooting me for trying that shot in the late 80s, early 90s.
To give it to him, Watson's last year 141. There was a lot of scoopy sweepy things that seemed to play off. I reckon he scored about 60 from those shots. But I don't think this is the wicket to do it, unfortunately. It looks a bit sticky, looks a bit tacky, difficult to play the shots, hit through the line, and that seems to work best. One down to long off. I must add, Arnie says better bowling attack. He also says look at where Watsons are now. Not my words, they are his. And any complaints, send them straight to Arnie's inbox, not mine. I have nothing to do with this. Cameron Hunter into bowl to James Dickinson. Chips it over mid-off for 4. Wondering why I put Callum Clarkson at mid-off, being one of probably the shortest of the RC lot. Interesting.
And indeed the shortest of all cricketers. He's actually 5'8". He just looks tiny because he probably weighs 9 stone wet through. I think that's a little bit of gamesmanship for RHC. Let's see if he can clear him. Why would he not be able to clear him? He is carrying 2 pounds 10 ounces of willow. Cam Hunter comes into bowl the 5th, and Dickinson has paid the price. At last, Ayush Dasmaputra elects to take over the situation. Gould giving away there. Dunford as well has run a good 15 yards from point, taking it facing the lovely George Burns, just wandering into the score box and commentary box, just letting us know he's here with a wave. That wicket falls. James Dickinson out for 16, caught by Ayush. 16 off 14. And, wicket falling 116. 1 ball to come, so 18.5 gone. The males will be thinking, need to bowl well here. Gavin Main, Adrian Neil. Pedro will be standing up to most of the bowlers except Gavin, I'd imagine. Maybe Adrian Neil, who knows? Oh, I apologise. Pedro just come out and blazed. Sadly blobbed today with a golden. James trudges off against his former side. He did get one out of the middle over Callum Clarkson. Mr. Hunter takes another.
Ex-Watson's man, Dougie Voa strives into the crease in his second season at Heriot. Played a good bit of ones cricket last season for the Nails. Hunter into bowl on the hip of Dougie Voas, and he pulls it for a Kess Sajad to bowl the last. 14 off his 3 overs, very economical. Facing up is Dougie Boas, who after a bit of statistics checking scored 310 at an average of just under 30 last season for Heriot. Kess into bowl on the pads and they scamper for a quick single. Josh Elliott onto face, 2 runs needed for his 50.
And where do you stand, Khaliq? So in my day, and that was only until 4 years ago, I would encourage some of the ring fielders to be in a bit. You know, if you've got cover on your right shoulder, try and cut off that single.
I would agree, but this ball would say otherwise, and 1 bounce into the fielder, and they run 2. And that is 50 up for Josh Elliott, 50 off 46. Playing the anchor role here for the Nails. Very, very important innings from him. Reminds you of when he scored 100 against the Grange in the Scottish Cup semi-final last year. Similarly, few early wickets, he comes in, solid 100 knock, and the Nails go on to win the Scottish Cup. Enough about that. Kess on for the 3rd. Goes for the scoop, well bowled by Kess. Josh misses the scoop straight into the hands of Owen Gold. And we come back for the final 2 or 3 deliveries of the Heriot's innings. 120 for 5 off 19.3. 3 to come. In comes Kess. Goes for his scoopy sweepy thing, as Arnie calls it, and it works out this time. Off the bat, 4 runs. Thank you very much.
Getting old, I can't quite tell if Khaliq is taking the mickey out of me or not, but I mean, it was a scoopy sweepy thing, and it felt like he gloved it. And in fact, on the replay, I think he did glove it, but he's gloved it a good 35 yards fine of Lakshmi at short 3rd, and the 4th ball of the over goes for 4. And my chief abuser, Alawadin Farouk, is arriving in his lovely Volvo XC90, no doubt in his espadrilles. Oh, it's a lovely pickup shot, which I think may have gone for 6. No, just a 4. That was not a scoopy sweepy thing. That was just a very orthodox reverse slap, and he has timed the pants off of that. And I mean, he has drilled that. That was an elegant left-handed 5-iron out of the trees there. Superb cricket there from Elliott. Moves on to 58 or 49. Ruins Sajad's figures, perhaps ruining the fact his father is not prowling the boundary, having parked his Mercedes somewhere extremely safe. Final ball of the innings coming.
Pull shot to Dunford, quick single. Sajad misses the run out, reminiscent of a Nathan Lyon. Very reminiscent of a Nathan Lyon, and the Nails scamper for 2. They finish on 130 for 5 after their 20.
Nothing worse when you put in a big dive.
Match summary is up. Lloyd Brown 11 of 16. Peter Ross first bowler. Josh Elliott, very, very good anchoring innings of 50 odd. Vian Mertz 33 of 32. Ryan Brown 2 for 5. James Dickinson 16 of 14. And Dougie Boas 1 off 2. Very good bowling here from the RC gentlemen. Callum Clarkson 4 overs, 13 runs, 2 wickets. Anthony Dunford 4 overs, 23 runs. Ayush Dasmahapatra 4 overs, 39 runs. Didn't bowl as badly as his overs, as his figures suggest, but some of the bats took a liking to him, and that's just how it works. Cam Hunter 3 for 23, 7s, very well done from the young man, 1 wicket for him. And Robert Thompson 1 over, 5 runs, 1 wicket. That is us signing off for now. We come back to you in about 10-15 minutes.
Out? I was calm. Can we do it alright? I just got to read some Heriot.
I genuinely thought I was sick. Genuinely.
Like 3 minutes short. It would have been amazing to watch.
You'd have had the best view. I was looking, I was like, I'm sure that's all.
We all wanted to think. Yeah. Fuck, we can.
Got here one short at 8.
Yeah, that's true. It's good time. Two off. I said boys. You put 4 people. You play tight. They go for 7. Shandy.
It's going to be coming at me.
And we welcome you back to a slightly chillier Goldenacre here. Arnie has his hat and his big puffer jacket on. And a snood. Gavin remained to open the bowling in the Scotland side for the upcoming T20s at Clydesdale against Netherlands and Nepal. Two Sathas out to open, Anthony Dunford and Jono Van Zyl. Anthony Dunford, the right-hander, number 46. Jono Van Zyl, the left-hander, number 21. Gavin Main into bowl. First ball, very, very high length. Double.
Gavin Main, my favourite Scotland under-19 cricketer ever, for his heroics in Malahide, the 2019 qualifiers. Scotland had to win every game and promptly did under Patrick Sadler, former Cambridge Blues skipper. A little shout out for Patrick. 5 years now skipper of the Sudbury side in the Essex Prem. He and Gavin absolutely bossed Ireland. Craig Wright was coach, and I'm going to say this, I'm sorry Andrew Leonard and others, as the Irish tried to cheat the umpires and play all sorts of dubious games, but Gavin Main came out and clobbered, I think, a 70 odd, smashing sixes into the trees around Dublin. It's absolutely glorious to watch there. Second ball went for a dot straight through to keeper as Dunford went for an ugly swipe across the line, but then calmly plays a very similar delivery off the shoulder of the bat down to third man. Dunford has scored 67, I think, in a T20 for us, another 67 in league cricket. Jono Van Zyl clearly has a lot of talent, very orthodox cricketer, likes to hold a pose, and we let him know that that's not great on a regular basis. Main's going to come round the wicket now to the lefty, Van Zyl. Both these chaps from Durban. Jono, Durban North from Sláinte, and Dunford from Port Shepstone just south.
Shuffling across is Van Zyl. Up into the sky, no one there. Dot ball. He has chested that, I think. Didn't actually see off his hip, says Arnie. Just a bit on Van Zyl. High score of 86 this season against Aberdeenshire, again in the Scottish Cup. 42 against Edinburgh Accies in the previous Masterton Trophies game. And a 51 against Meagle, again in the Scottish Cup. Gavin Main into bowl. Fuller delivery there, padded away by Van Zyl for a dot. Jono Van Zyl on just south of 300 runs this season at an average of 35. Lovely 67 against Accies in the Masterton Trophy and 63 against Meagle in the Scottish Cup. Lovely left-right-handed combo. Gavin Main into bowl, shorter delivery, getting himself ready for the Dutch and the Nepalese in Clydesdale in about a week and a bit's time.
I was up at Fort Hill on Monday as a guest of a couple of the board members. Great day out. Didn't go the right way for the Scotland side. Did pull it back beautifully, but I think fair in the end. Good old social media pointing out a 7-ball over in the 32nd, bowled by Heriot's man Mark Watt, not spotted by either umpire, but definitely spotted by several members of the scoring fraternity at the time. But delightful to see pitch invasions absolutely unpoliced and rewarded by the Nepali contingent. They know how to play the chimes and the bells. What a crowd. Adrian Neal comes in, all 700 feet of him, and Dunford stands back, waits for the ball and pulls it just to the right of mid-on. No mid-wicket, So Adrian Neil must be getting on for 32 years old, 33 maybe. I think he's 6'8", maybe more. How he warms up, I do not know, but fair play to him. I mean, I can't imagine being that tall because I'm a foot shorter, but it must be dreadful after a long day in the field. Can he touch his toes? That's my question.
The answer to that is no. We've tested this out before. Unfortunately, cannot. Adrian Neil into bowl for the second. Shorter there, dabs it down to backward point where Josh Elliott collects neatly. Just a touch on Adrian Neil in his international career. Has played 5 T20Is for Scotland. Has taken 9 wickets, average of 17, economy of 7, strike rate of 13. Adrian Neil in for 3. On the legs, flicks it out, and just over the hands of James Dickinson for 6 runs. Glorious shot there from Anthony Dunford off the legs. Hits it for 6. Just evading James Dickinson on the deep square leg boundary.
I've walked back so many times as lads.
Slight pull there from Anthony Dunford, just dropped short of Doggy Voas at long on. 1 bounce, into the hands, 1 run. John Van Zyl on strike now, 2 balls left from Adrian Neil, 11 off the over so far. Going well are the RHC contingent. Adrian Neil coming around the wicket to John Van Zyl. Sticks square leg out, has a 3rd man, and in he comes. Played very late by John Van Zyl, and that is a dot. 1 ball left in the over, 11 off it.
Lovely to be surrounded by the likes of George Lambie here at Heriot's. I've known him for 30 odd years, I think. Telling me he's 50 next year, and that reminds me that, well, I am too. I'll be 49 in a couple of months' time. The idea of throwing a ball 70 yards now not met well. Jono Van Zyl holds the pose there as he powers the ball, check drive to the right of mid-off. Mid-off was interested for about 30 seconds, but races away to the extra cover boundary.
15 off the over there from Adrian Neil. That's 16 off 2 overs, going at 8s. Gavin Main on for his 2nd. To Anthony Dunford, he steps back, clobbers it, hits it very, very well over mid-on for 6.
And if you recall, as he bowled his 3rd over, I said something along the lines of Anthony Dunford just needs to back himself. Very capable cricketer, lovely man. Just needs to let his natural game come out, and he will score runs and take wickets for fun. 2nd ball here from Main. Fair play. I don't mind him swishing away. If he's going to go, flash hard.
Fuller delivery there from Gavin Main. Just lost his shape a little bit. Did Anthony Dunford. I have a feeling the next few will not be in the same half as Dunford, but we shall see. I was wrong. That one has rolled. Full over length.
Gavin must be, well, Paddy must be 31. Yeah, so 2009, I think they were both 17, 18 in that World Cup. Under 19 World Cup. They went to Australia, sadly lost every game, but I think Khaliq is going to try and pull up that scorecard. Main comes driving in. Dunford has worn that in the chest. Another dot there. So 6 and 3 dots now from Gavin Main, and there's some talk here about how this VR play business marries with Frogbox. I think it's a bit of a technical challenge. And there's Dunford, who charges Main, makes some space, cans into the bottom of middle and leg, and as Joe Kinghorn-Gray would often tell me, if you're going to come straight down the wicket, come straight down the wicket. Don't charge down the leg side and leave yourself open. And the president, as I said, would arrive and chirp me and has now done so and would like story time. Don't know how long Kenneth is here on the feed, but keep plying me and I'll ring the wife, see if I can stay the night, and I'll tell you tales of the Queen.
And in next is RHC skipper Owen Gold. He has scored 168 runs from 9 matches this season so far at an average of 28. High score of 48 against Meagle in the Scottish Cup. Was one of Scotland's highest scorers during their under-19 World Cup campaign, including a lovely 90 against South Africa, just getting out in the late 90s, I think, to South Africa's Kwena Mapaka, who now plays for the Mumbai Indians. So just shows the calibre of cricket we have here today. Current Scotland against future Scotland. Gavin Main into Owen Gold. First delivery, dot ball. Slip comes in for Heriot, taken out of the leg side. Change of bowling from the far end at Goldenacre. Adrian Neil comes off. Off spinner Ryan Brown comes in. Ryan Brown 4 wickets this season at an average of 26. Very economical actually, Ryan Brown. Prefers height and his build. You would really, really wish he was a seam bowler charging in, but we don't always get what we want, do we? Coming round to a lefty, quick single, dabs it into the cover. Small fumble from Ryan Brown prevents the run-out opportunity.
So Gouldy to face now Ryan Brown after that scrambled single. Owen Gould, very orthodox cricketer. It's got lovely high elbow, good back lift, very still head. Punches that one to the left of Ryan Brown, coming round the wicket. Fielded by the Adrian Neil at mid-off. That's beautiful. beautifully pushed, as I said. Elegant player, very strong through cover. Punches that between extra cover and mid-off. And in a flash, Adrian Neal is there, but in only 4, maybe 4.5 strides. Fielded by George Burns there, and he's with Lisa, as George does, seems to find overseas scorers and take them around the grounds of Scotland and just let them know how perishingly cold it can be when the sun is behind cloud cover as we approach 8 o'clock. Pace taken off there by Gouldy, but by Ryan Brown, sorry. Waited, watched patiently, played late there, just too long on for a single. Van Sale here, in my view, needs to have a good look here. He will look to dominate the spinners, but take a look here. Ryan Brown can take the pace right off. Lovely steepling bounce there. Rose sharply. Jan Maritz Fields, pretty errant throw there from Dougie Voa, shrouded by now Azhar Abid's left buttock. Club captain at RHC, best teeth in the game. Lovely soft hands from Van Sale, looking for a cheeky single in the ring. Nothing to James Dickinson, never has been, never will be. Lovely lad, James Dickinson. And 5, maybe 6 off the over there, as poor Khaliq struggles to find that scorecard from Ireland in the 2015 Under-19s World Cup, but he's still trying. Gavin Main to continue, so this will be his 3rd over. Score moves on to 28. Somehow Azhar Abid is now looking after Mark Watt's dog. Don't think Azhar Abid is much of a dog lover, but Main bowls just short of a length outside off. Gould plays it late, watches it drop to his feet, no run. Joe Kinghorn is thinking about having a bowl himself by the looks of things. Rolling his neck. He's done his groiner by all accounts. Joe Kinghorn Gray. John Joseph Ainsley Kinghorn Gray, to give him his full name. Main comes striding into bowl again. Big flash there. Bit of in-swing, maybe a bit of nipping in there off the seam. Done him for pace, bit of all 3, but not disturb the off bail. Kinghorn still slapping the ball between his hands, as he has done since he was 11. I could tell you some funny stories about Kinghorn Gray, but I'm not sadly allowed to, I think.
Gavin Main into ball here to Owen Gould. On the back foot, no run to Jared Rubley at cover. Just a bit on Gavin Main's Under-19 World Cup. Played in the UAE, beat Papua New Guinea quite convincingly. Lost to India, who had a very, very, very good side in India. Sanju Samson, Ricky Bowie, Sarfraz Khan, Kuldeep Yadav, Avesh Khan, all IPL icons. Gavin Main into ball, Owen Gould pulls it. Joe Kinghorn Gray on the chase, and it goes for 4.
Joe Kinghorn Gray on the chase. Khaliq said groin injury. I've never seen the man fly so fast in my life. So maybe he is going to get himself a bowl. Rather unfortunately looked like he hadn't timed it, but he did time it. I think he thought it was coming onto him a bit quicker than that. So it looped up, but cleared the infield comfortably. 4 bounces for 4 through mid-wicket. Main into bowl again. And he has bowled short again. Absolutely drilled it straight into the bank. And even Adrian Neal's taking his time to get there, because that has got a long way. Rolling up the hill and beyond a parked Saab convertible. The vehicle of choice for architects everywhere.
RHC 38 for 1 off 4.5. Going at 7.86 and over. I wonder where Gav will bowl his last here. 17 off his 2.5 so far. We shall find out if he has a Yorker or not. Ooh, fuller in length, seemed to skid on a little bit. I wouldn't say kicked away, but is off the pad for a quick scamper. Leg by signals the umpire. And we move on to James Dickinson. Seems a bit of chop and change from the far end at Goldenacre. Ryan Byrne comes off, James Dickinson comes onto bowl.
Really enjoyed watching our 2 years with James Dickinson at RHC. Really came on as a lad and as a bowler. Always felt he did back himself with a bat. He was on the end of 8, maybe 9 horrendous decisions. I'm not naming any umpire names, but it really impacted his confidence. He kept getting given LB. He didn't hit one, was given out, all sorts. So, you know, he felt it was time to move on, and move he did. He was working on his googly back then. Let's have a look at it, see if it's coming out any better. Let's ask visiting President Ali Farouk as Jambo perfected his googly. He doesn't know what to say. I think that's, well, presidential rights. But, ladies and gentlemen, he's obviously going up in the world. The espadrilles are no more. A pair of deck shoes. Fascinating step move there. Moleskins maybe, not chinos. Yeah. Things going well, Ali? Going well?
James Dickinson onto balls first. Flights it up. No run to a Gavin Main at mid-wicket. Reverse sweep there from Goldie. Joe Kinghorn Gray at a short third, diving to his right. Groin injury what? I don't exactly know. Sweep shot there from Jono Van Zyl. Unreal pickup there from Peter Ross. Quick throw into Via Maritz. Taken off the stumps, and umpire says not out. Owen Gould back onto the crease. Just a bit on James Dickinson. Highest wicket taker in the league in 2023 with 28 wickets in his 14 games as he comes into bowl. Reverse sweep again, drills it straight into head coach Joe Kinghorn Gray for a dot. Owen Gould, very well known for his sweeps, coming from his hockey background where he represented Scotland in age groups and then decided to choose cricket over hockey. Gavin Mean comes off from the pavilion end and Adrian Neal comes back on as left-hander Jono Van Zyl faces up. Adrian Neal, 11 wickets in 8 matches so far this season. Also played in the Scotland A warm-up games against Nepal, as here he is running into Jono Van Zyl. Fuller delivery, almost a Yorker length, pads away to short cover, dot ball. 40 for 1 off 6.2 RHC. 2 dots in a row there from Adrian Neil. Full of a length there, pads it away to cover. Bit shorter there, ball nipping away there from John Van Ziel. Played it well in the end, no bat on it, and 3 dots. Adrian Neil changes from around to over the stumps as Owen Gould faces strike. Single there from John Van Ziel. Adrian Neil running in. Full there. Owen Gould pads it away to a long on for a single. Slightly wayward throw there from Joe King Hong Gray, but 1 is a 1. Nice little comeback over here from Adrian Neil as he goes back to around the wicket for Jono Van Ziel. Full of a length there, Jono picks out deep cover, straight to him, slight fumble for a single. Good batting, good bowling, good cricket, and that is over up. 3 from the over from Adrian Neil. That takes him to 18 off his 2 overs, 9 and over here. RHC are 44 for 1 off their 7.
I'm going to risk saying this, but, you know, I've got Khaliq, extremely capable commentator on my right. Ali and I are talking about business, property, investments, pensions, money, my move to Fife, his secondary home tax, moving to Warriston. I mean, this is what cricket is all about. And I will say, and I'm going to call it out, 5 months before Movember, talk to your brothers. Mental health is very much a thing. Cricketers know each other so well over many years because you spend so much time in the field, so much time around the boys. And I've definitely felt, giving up cricket, as I'm blessed with a child late in life, that I miss this interaction. Just being around the fellows and watching them grow up and learn how to actually bowl a googly, or not think about the guy chirping them and just think about the ball. And I miss that interaction. So it's just lovely to get an invite. Very grateful to the Mighty Nails for their pleasantry. Lakshmi, get out of the way. Couldn't resist keeping the mic on to say that.
Very important message there from Arnie. Speak to your brothers, people. James Dickinson, 3 off his overs so far. Very economical, bowling very well. On to Owen Gould. Gould goes for the reverse sweep, over backward point, 4 runs. Very, very smart cricket. It's the option for him. No one back there. Good cricket, 4 runs. 5 off the over here from James Dickinson. Takes his total up to 7 off 1.3. Slightly shorter one there from James Dickinson. Owen Gould flicks it off his legs for a single out to square leg. 50 up here for RHC, 1 down, 7.4 overs in, making good work of Heriot's total, going at just about the rate. But wickets in hand. Quicker one there from James Dickinson as John Van Zyl comes down the crease. Good bowling there, good little change up. Dot ball. Collects it himself. John Van Zyl makes room, cuts it out to deep point. Ryan Brown does the chasing, and they get 2. Good arm there from Ryan Brown, straight to the keeper. A good 60 probably, yeah, 60 65 metre throw there from Ryan Brown, straight into the keeper's hands. Things you love to see. End of the over there from James Dickinson. 8 off the over so far. That brings us total of 10 off 2 overs. Change bowling from this end. Adrian Neal comes off. Ryan Brown comes back into the attack. Lovely tall off spin. Great arm ball on him. Good bounce with a height as well. Six off the first for Ryan Brown. We'd be hoping to get it under 6 this over, as the required run rate is 6.58 for RHC Corstorphine. Around the wicket to the right-hander and out. Let me walk you through that quickly. Around the wicket comes Ryan Brown, floating it up to Owen Gold. He flicks it off into mid-wicket, coming down the crease very quickly. Ryan Brown collects it himself, good bit of fielding, throws it back into Vian Marich. John Van Zyl says no, you go back to your end, Skip, and gets run out. Good fielding there from the Heriot's boys, and pegs on back. 52 for 2 off 8.1. Kess Sajad comes into the crease for the number 4 bat. 97 runs so far this season in his 9 matches. Scored a good 24 against Meagle in the Scottish Cup and 36 against Carlton in the Eastern Premier League. From the stats, it looks like he tends to get out LBW quite often, so could be the play here to come back over the wicket and try pin him in front. LBW in 4 of his last 7 games for RHC Corstorphine. Taking his time to get in a stance, Ryan Brown sticking from around the crease as Kess Sajad faces up. Outside edge there, and a single to third man. Coming around to John Van Zyl, you've got a deep cover, long on, long off, and deep square. Floats one up there, turns it, beats him on the outside edge, stumping appeal from Vian Marich, and umpire is having absolutely none of it and runs to rearrange the stumps. Looks like the ploy here from Ryan Brown is to really get it up, beat him with dip, turn, and the extra bounce as well. Goes again with the extra flight, turn, and bounce. John Van Zyl flashes it, cuts at it, just evades backward point for a single. Coming round the wicket, Kess Sajad pats it straight back to Ryan Brown and he drops it. Quite a few drops this game. Looks like cold hands getting to the lads in the field. Comes again, round the wicket. Similar delivery, played much more controlled there from Kess Sajad. Ends up the over at 2 off it. Potentially 2 wickets there. Jot the one off Kess Sajad, just the one, 2 off the over. It's 8 off 2 overs for Ryan Brown, 4 from each. James Dickinson continues on from the far end here at Goldenacre. In his third over here, 10 off his first 2, very economical at 5s. Wider, fuller delivery there from James Dickinson. Van Zyl sort of smothers it to point for no run double. Dickinson a bit shorter, similar line. Jonah Van Zyl gets a cut off it. Ryan Brown does a fielding again straight into Bjorn Mertz's hands. 1 run. Kess Sajad's first ball facing James Dickinson. Cut there from Kess Sajad, straight to Josh Elliott at backward point, no run. Bit more flight there from James Dickinson. Out to the right of backward point, Josh Elliott does a fielding, 1 run. Van Zyl back on strike. We have Adrian Neal at deep square leg, Josh Elliott at a deep square. We've got a long on, long off. Protecting that leg side boundary. Drag down there from James Dickinson, wide called by the umpire. Off the pads there, goes through Joe Kinghorn Gray for a single. Takes a total of this over to 4 off it, 1 ball to come. Kess Sajad to face. Slightly flighted delivery there, Kess Sajad drills it straight back, James Dickinson. Peter Ross does the fielding at a long off, 1 run. 5 off the over there for James Dickinson, 15 off his 3. 59 for 2 off 10. Ryan Brown comes back on from the pavilion end for his 3rd over. Had 8 off his 2 so far. Ryan Brown sticking to around the wickets to both bats. Flights one up, good turn. Kess Sajad flicks it off the pads, single. Around the crease again to Jonah Van Zyl, shuffling a bit, flicks it off his legs, 1 to mid wicket. Ryan Brown does the fielding himself.
Apologies there for my little break there, little catch up with Ali Farouk. Azra Abid, so club captain at RHC, Ali Fruit, they've known each other for 30 odd years. Browns continue here, third ball's gone for 2 in this over. 10 conceded, off 2.2. Orthodox back foot punch there from Kess Sajad to mid-off. Good to see Callum Clarkson on the waters. It's definitely 8, maybe 9 degrees these days at this time. Almost a Kevin McLaren style stop action bowling there. Actually stopped mid ball. Dot ball. And Jono Van Sale, one bounce for reverse sweep lofted. A good 55 yards there, one bounce for deep backward square. Adrian Neal, 2 strides, 40 metres to his right, fields the ball. Ryan Brown last ball of his third over. Van Sale rocks back onto the back foot, punches it to deep mid-wicket for a single. RHC move on to 67 for 2 off 11. On the run rate here, 65 to win off 55. 8 wickets in hand. Old RHC in my time definitely had a collapse in them. Khaliq thinks that's funny, but having lived through 300 plus first 11 games, I can assure you it was pretty miserable being there. Cameraman is zoomed in on the castle there, resplendent, flag flying high, and the Esplanade, 12,000 seats for the tattoo. If I'm right in thinking, never successfully attacked or invaded. Famous, of course, for its 1 o'clock gun. Tam the gunner, 40 years firing that cannon on the nose at 1 o'clock.
James Dickinson into Kess Sajad. Kess Sajad up in the air. And there it goes for 6. You can hear the RHC boys in the background after umpire signals. Bit of hesitation here as the sight screen blocking our view slightly. Slightly flatter delivery there. Kess Sajad does well to get underneath it and goes all the way. 7 off the over. Flatter again from Kess, and very, very good cricket. Boundary, and then the single. 1 down 2, a long off.
This is an area of Kess's game I'd really like him to work on, rotating the strike. Has been guilty of bombing 1 away for 6 and then out very soon afterwards. Lovely cricket there from Jono Van Sale. Turns away. Very, very fine sweep to the left of Joe Kinghorn-Gray, who proves he's been jimming hard. Launches that well past the keeper. Off to long off from fine leg. Yes, I am now shivering, and I will pass the microphone back.
Getting very cold here at Goldenacre. Wind chill really getting to us. Dickinson into ball again. Off the back foot from Van Zyl, and as a single out to mid-wicket. James Dickinson does the collecting himself. 13 off the over so far. 1 ball left. This over slightly putting a dent in James Dickinson's figures, but a wicket or 2 in his next. I'm sure you wouldn't mind. Oh, there's not his next. Apologies. 1 ball left. Can he get a wicket? Kess Sajad on strike. Flatter 1 there, and off the back foot, out to deep cover, 1 run. 14 off the over, that is 29 off James Dickinson's 4 overs. James Joe Kinghorn-Gray on to ball, apologies. Head coach here at Heriot's Cricket Club, and also assistant women's coach for the national team, assisting, of course, Craig Wallace as head coach.
A proud moment for me. Never commentated on one of my former charges. Feel very, very connected to Joey, although, like all young men who move on from one's own stable, he never rings me. I cry myself to sleep at night, and I very much hope that this feed is audible later for him as he eats his way through his pizza and pasta, because I definitely taught him how to consume food. Wonderful young man. Delighted to say he has 2 nephews, Aidan and Kian, with Alice's sister. Delighted to also hear he remains in a lovely relationship with his good lady in the old maternity unit at the Edinburgh Royal Infirmary. Here he comes, number 17, pounding in as ever. And bowls just short of mid-wicket. It goes deep backward square, runs round. Solid arm there from the fielder. Young Josh Elliott. Joe going for one off his first. Joey has bowled 68 odd overs, taken 24 wickets last season, an average of 10. But as usual, I think he's always sort of overlooked, I feel, but regularly amongst the top wicket takers in last season, yet again averaging just 10 in ball in the Eastern Premier League, taking 24 wickets alongside Ryan Brown with 24 and James Dickinson, with James going at nearly twice the average at 20s. Joey will be disappointed with that delivery. Just bowled a a full easy half volley there for Jono Van Sale, who punches it to the deep boundary, and the giant Adrian Neil fields it. One single to Van Sale, moves on to 27, and Kess to face 14 off 12. Pitched on leg stump, but as usual, Joe King on grey, an enthusiastic appeal. No chance, would have not hit the 6th stump. Only man amongst 11 nails to appeal. God love the old pink-faced legend.
Replay showing that probably hitting an outside leg stump. So there we go, hence the no appeal. Keeper standing up now to Jono Van Zyl. Back of length there, finds the outside edge, down to 3rd man. RHC ticking along quite nicely here. 48 runs needed to win off 46 deliveries. Plenty of wickets in hand. They just need to keep doing the exact same thing to finish this game off. Whereas Heriot, on the other hand, need to pick up wickets, and they need to pick him up quick. Just as I say that, flick off the leg from Kess Sajad, and a wonderful, wonderful catch by Josh Elliott out of deep square leg, running to his left. Takes a low grab down to his left. And Tyler Stagg, I think, comes into bat next. You can just see it on the great camera work there by Scott Rarity. A little bit blurry, but we'll put it past him. Great catch there by Josh Elliott. 60 runs with the bat in the first innings, and an excellent catch, solid fielding in the second. Tyler Stagg comes into bat now, the overseas from South Africa for RHC. 230 runs this season from his 11 matches. Batting average of 76, the high score of 89. Didn't get to see him bowl, unfortunately, as Arnie said, he has a shoulder strain. But quick bowler, 15 wickets this season, best with 5 for. Wonderful 89 against Forfarshire in the Eastern Prem in his last game, and a good 42 against Accies in the Masterton and Meagle in the Scottish Cup as well. So definitely someone who can hit a long ball.
He's also a lovely lad. Extremely capable cricketer and really hustles around everything he does. He's very quiet, unassuming. Played in the Halifax Prem last season as a bowler, but ended up really impressing with the bat, which I think is what got our attention. And the year before in Cheshire, another South African. And he is ensconced safely at Cargill School. Lovely arrangement that yours truly started and now continued the fine work by Neil Clarkson. A lot of schmoozing, and that's helped the ECA. Lighting arrangement, assisting with the kind of infrastructure there, building of the nets, curation of the ground, etc. But the absolute win there is that they offer teaching and accommodation to our overseas should they have the right coaching qualifications. So Tyler is there all summer, can bowl a sharp ball, upwards of 130 Ks, but sadly has a bit of a shoulder strain.
New bowler in is Jared Rubley, 20 wickets this season from his 9 matches. Normally plays for Heriot's 2s, but has performed well. Took a 7 for in his last 2s game against Drummond Trinity, and is now, quite rightfully so, made his way into the 1 squad, bowling his lovely leg spin into Van Zyl now. Slightly short there, sort of a straight pull shot down to long on there by John Van Zyl. In his last appearance for the first team, Jared took a 4-for against Stuart Melville in the first round of the Scottish Cup. Comes again here, Tyler Stagg does nicely, guides it along down the face of the bat, down to third man, to the very tall Adrian Neal. Very good strike rotation here from the RSC boys. 3 of the first 3 of this over. Given a bit more air there by Jared Rubley. Jonah Van Zyl sits on the back foot, cuts it out to a deep cover. Really making the Heriot's fielders move here with the left-right combo, as it should be. Jared Rubley in here on the back foot by Stagg. Just punched it down the ground, single. 4 from 4. Jared Rubley in again to Van Zyl. Bit more air this time, very sensibly played down to long on. To the arm of Peter Ross. No 2, just the 1. 5 from the first 5 deliveries. 6 from the 6 deliveries. 6 off the over from Jared Rubley. Joe Kinghorn Gray back onto bowl from the pavilion end here at Goldenacre. Vian Moritz doing a lot of work with the helmet on both sides of the wicket this time, standing up to Kinghorn Gray, and obviously it's Jared Rubley.
Mr. Rubley with a name like that, where's he from?
Sathiy.
So there's a continuous theme here. There is quite a few Sathiys around the place. Whereabouts in South Africa, do you know?
I'm not entirely too sure, but I think either Durban or Joburg. He moved here, what would it be now, 7 years ago maybe, during his schooling years. Trained with the Scotland Under-19 squad, skippered by Owen Gould. Didn't make the squad, unfortunately, but is Scottish qualified, has represented Scotland age groups before at under 15, under 17 level.
And this is super knowledge, Khaliq, let's be honest. I mean, where's that come from? That he's just pulled that out. Owen Gould, his skipper, I'd imagine, at some point. And Joe strides into bowl, the well, the first delivery again, because there was a wide in there. Bit of funky fielding there from James Dickinson at that point. And that single there squirted away to point.
Joking Hungry back in for his third delivery to Tyler Stagg. Ooh, rising that ball. Plays it well. No run. Joe collects it himself.
George Burns still circling. Not like a vulture. He's a lovely man. He appeared at Aki's last week. And with Lisa from Holland Cricket, KDB Nederlander. Joe strides up, readies himself into bowl a slower ball. That's what I'm saying. Well, got that wrong. Into the gloves, clanged, clash of the cymbals, drops there. 5 yards left, no run. 4 gone. Just 2 runs so far, including the wides. Joey growling at me, no doubt, from 70 yards away. Heriot's a bit flat in the field. Somebody needs to do something here. Corstorphine 37 off 34. Kinghorn in again. Stagg jabs one down to the adjacent pitch, but one. Kinghorn fielding himself. Interesting here having the opposition groundsman, so to speak, Callum Clarkson. Could we have a word? No, he's an employee here. Conflict of interest, he says, not interested. Has not signed the NDA.
Joking Hungry in for the penultimate. Good bowling here from Joey, hitting a good length, very, very tight here. 1 ball left off his over. 7 so far, off his 1.5 deliveries. Just a 2 off the over so far, keeping it very tight. I'm assuming we'll see more of the same, very stump-to-stump action here. Maybe a cutter, a change-up. Sends third man back, does Joe. Given the single, star of Van Zyl off the strike. In he comes, off the leg, gets that. Oh, it's a wide. I almost called it a wide. I'd hit that back. 1 ball left of the over. 3 from it. Van Zyl on strike. Change of field here for Joey. Packing the offside, long on, cow, deep cover, and a third man. Keeper again, Merck standing back here for Van Zyl. Joe, fine delivery off the over, 3 off it so far. Helps himself to an easy single, and John takes himself to 33 off 36. 4 off the over there for King Hungry, takes up to 10 off his 2 overs, including that wicket. 34 needed of 30 deliveries, with 7 wickets in hand for RHC. Jared Rubley back on from the far end here at Goldenacre. Another fun fact about Jared Rubley is on his Scotland age group debut, I think it was under 15s, took a 5-for at the Old Trafford ground, playing against Lancashire. 5-for in his first game for Scotland 15s, fresh off the flight from SA. Here he is to Jonah Van Zyl, flatting one up. Jonah misses out on a cut. Wide one there, it looks like. Been hitting them well all night.
Worked away by Van Zyl there to long on for a single. So the Corstorphine boys are huddled, shivering together like penguins in the Arctic, considering the setting, thinking, yeah, it's pretty tasty, lovely place to play. Convinced that Johnny Bryden, keeper for us, would be here on the balcony, spinning his wheels, mixing some music. There'd be pyro. And they're confident there would be 75, 80 fans to any midweek game. So just wondering if Heriots ever see those kinds of numbers. We often have 75 people to watch our women's games, barbecue on.
Scottish Cup games potentially. I reckon we had over 150 last year against the Grange. It's Cup semi-final. Here Jonah Van Zyl makes room, hits it through to cover just for a single. Three off the over so far from Jared Rubley. Arnie says quite a good arm from Ryan Brown. Does help when your arms are the size of a grown man's legs. Jared Rubley takes the wicket. Tyler Stagg walks past one. And as usual, great glove work by Vian Moritz. Tidy wicket there from the Heriots boys. 100 for 4 off 15.5. Much needed wicket there for Heriots.
Rob Thompson strides out to the crease, RHC's longest standing player. I think pretty level par with Callum Clarkson, as Van Zyl stumped well by Moritz, taking the ball down leg side, obscured a little bit by the batsman. So Tyler Stagg wanders off, sadly. It's not off and out, so he'll be raging. Tomo knows how to play the game, so he'll be pretty calm out there in the middle.
5 from 10 there for Tyler Stagg. Robert Thompson out to bat, as Arnie calls him the father of this RHC side. 99 runs this season off his 10 matches, average of 16, high score of 30. Arnie says, very happy to throw his wicket away. Jad Rubley in for last. Outside off, cuts it. Great diving stop there from very tall Adrian Neal. And that is the end of the over. 4 from it, plus the wicket. Jared Rubley, 10 off his 2 overs. 30 needed off 24. Joe Kinghorn-Gray back onto bowl his third. 10 off his 2 so far, kept it very tight at 5s. Taking the wicket of Kess Sajad. Need more of the same. And RHC just need to rebuild here slightly. Jonah Van Zyl, the anchor man for RHC. Robert Thompson, new man in the crease, facing his second delivery of the innings so far. Joe Kinghorn-Gray runs in. To Thompson. Ooh, plays that quite early, chips it into the covers. No man there, just a 1. Van Zyl back on strike.
interested in watching Tomo, Rob Thompson and Joe together. They play a lot of golf together. They've known each other since they were 18 or so, probably similar ages. Joe maybe shade older, I think. Maybe not. God, I've known Joey for 17, 18 years now. I can feel Khaliq is shivering on the bench alongside me. Stupidly, given that it's his home ground, not with a puffer jacket, a snood and a beanie or a hat of any shape. You need to look after yourself, Khaliq. Trust me, it's only going to go downhill from now. Ansel puts a single in through, fielded by Joe, running to his left into the vacant short mid-wicket region. Single off the second ball. Score moves on to 103 for 4 off 16.2. 28 required off 21. A couple of wickets now from the Heriot's boys, and they will definitely have a sniff. Next batsman in, Lakshmi. With 2 bats in his hands, just preparing himself. Played dab down to point, standing on the ring, fielded by Jared Rubley, who underarms it in, having decided that there was an easy single there. No point giving away any buzzers there. Adrian Neal had a long way to cover that if he was to shine, and it was wayward. Kingdom Gray's gone for 3 off 3, 13 off 2.3, keeping it very tight as usual. Underrated bowler for me. That's gone through everything, beaten everyone, and has gone for 4 byes. Well, unfortunate there, I'm not sure quite how the keeper missed that. But we get to see a replay here. It's backed away a touch, and it's just gone between the keeper and the batsman's outside edge. Valiant attempt by the boundary fieldsman at third man, but no joy. Score moves on to 108 for 4 off 16.4. Joe comes in to bowl again. Van Sale dabs it down, urgently looking for seconds. Slight slip on his turn, but Tom had already turned it down. This over is proving to be quite productive for RHC, despite Joe not doing anything really wrong. Just these fine margins there, unfortunate for the keeper, conceding those 4 byes. Thompson to face the final ball. And he melts one through to comfortable 2 there in the end. Very quick running from Van Sale, and that over has gone for 2, 4, 5, 9 total, I believe. 10, sorry, thank you, Khalil. So that over has gone, sadly, 10 off for Joe, 16 off his 3, ruined his figure somewhat. Score moves on to 111. Dreaded Nelson, David Shepherd, may you rest in peace, will be standing on one leg in the pavilion in the sky, nursing a cup of tea and a very large pie. God love you.
Jared Rubley on to bowl his 3rd, 10 off his first 2 so far with the 1 wicket. Leg spinner bowling the 18th. This can go 1 off 2 ways, with John Van Zyl 37 off 42. Really fighting one up there, does Jared Rubley, and great fielding by James Dickinson, down to his right at cover. 20 off 17 required, 6 wickets in hand. Chad Rubley comes in again, gives it more flight. Oh, Van Zyl gives himself room, hits the outside edge, and they come back for a fairly comfortable 2 after some chasing by Joking Hungary.
Joe's definitely been in the gym there, showing some pace there, running back. And it turned Sharpfield's right to chase that nick. Dot ball then 2. Sale moves on to 39. And to bowl his 3rd ball. The 18th over. Rather unusual slap dance dismissal there from Van Zyl, who just effectively gives some cuts to Gavin Main at so score now 113-5. Not quite sure what Van Zyl was thinking of doing there. Lakshmi Narayanan comes out to bat. Lovely human being. Works at RBS in IT. He's been in the country for about 6 months. Found his flat in Corstorphine. I think therefore probably works out in Guile. And Googled cricket in Corstorphine. Just wandered up to nets in late January and bombed a couple of hundreds in our 2s. This might be his first bat for our Foster.
Very solid innings that by Jonathan Van Zyl. Good 39 there from him, playing the anchor role. Big wicket that for Heriot that was needed. So Singaram and Thompson are the men in. Two scores of 70 by Singaram for RC2's first game for first bat. Actually, back to the one against Meagle in the Scottish Cup, opened the batting for Corstorphine there. Jared Rubley, 2nd wicket for him, 2 off the over, big wicket that off Jonathan Van Zyl. 3 balls left. 18 runs required, 15 balls remaining, 5 wickets in hand. Jared Rubley comes in, full delivery, flicked off, out to deep square, slight fumble, but they stick for 1. 2 balls left in Jared's over. Quite a comfortable first delivery there for Luxembourg. Legs, flick it away, off your ankle. Thompson facing up now. Pushing men back onto the ring. Flights one up. Please, one down, 2, long off. 4 off the over, last ball for Jared Rubley. 2 for 14 so far. Jared Rubley in first last. Flights went up there to sing around. Just evades Dickinson, cover to his left. Josh Elliott does a fielding at deep cover, and they run 1. 5 off the over for Jared Rubley. He finishes on 2 for 50 off his 3 overs. 15 of the last 2 overs required. Joking Hungary on here, bowling his last over. 3 overs, 16 runs, just the one with the 3 wides.
Did they take a photo?
For Singaram faces up. Keep up the standing up. Field is, you got a deep square, you got a cow, 3rd man, and a deep cover out as well. And they've put
for all you Mahabharata fans there, Indian Post literature. He's the dual god Vishnu and his wife Lakshmi. Failing Actually takes one straight to the surname means wealthy battlefield. Some names all have meanings. We have several more hours of
Off pressure there from Joe King. Great. Kess Sajad really at back with point. Slightly wayward throwing technique as Joe comes back in. Steps across, does Thompson, and he gets the wicket. Caught by Peter Ross at a short flying leg. Sort of guides it into his hands. Should have been dispatched away for 7, says Arnie. Inside a wicket falls. In next side, Aziz Hussain from the land of Deccan, Hyderabad, India. As Arnie said, very flamboyant Instagram and TikTok, showing off his massive hits from tape ball, hardball, tennis ball, menu cricket, very MS Dhoni helicopter-esque, I'm told. And we have the 2 South Indians into bat, side Aziz Hussain from Hyderabad and Lakshmi Narayan from Tamil Nadu. Can the boys take him over? 14 required, 10 balls remaining. Squeaky bum time, some may say, as Owen Gold, skipper, is biting his nails at the back. Aziz has scored 186 runs so far this season, with an average of 62. Fair plays. Keeper of the Emirates takes the helmet off, stands back. Joey Kinghorn Gray comes in to bowl to side Aziz Hussain. Half-hearted appeal there from the Heriot boys. Ump says no thank you. Looks like it's beaten him on the inside edge, but we shall have a look at the replay. Has beaten him on the inside there from replay. Umpire not interested whatsoever. 14 runs to win off 9 deliveries, 4 wickets in hand. Slightly fuller one from Joey. Straight up in the air. Lloyd Brown takes a very simple catch inside. Aziz Hussain has to depart after 2. Very good when he bats. Is he the man to take RHC over the line? We shall find out. Wicket for Joe Kinghorn Gray, 3 for 17 off 3.4. Ayush Dasmapatra comes into bat, 14 runs to win off 8 deliveries. Kinghorn Gray comes into bowl. Penultimate ball. On a length, find the outside edge, and that ball has been picked up by Dougie Voas at third man, almost 1 for 4. 2 runs scampered there by Ayush.
Yushi is a man for all occasions, extremely calm young man, like all great chemical engineers should be when they're in charge of an entire ethylene plant. Could blow a hole bigger than Edinburgh in the coast of Fife, which is what I hope I would introduce him to the director of shortly. Joe's gone for 3, 2 wickets this over, 3 for 19. Last ball of his spell. Single off the last. Lakshmi thinking about it, that he would have perished. So, 11 off the last over. Very, very good bowling. Match-winning bowling, potentially, from Joe King on greys. But roll around to maybe 4, maybe 3 degrees centigrade here in Edinburgh. Sun has gone. Pretty chilly. Tyler Stagg wearing 13 layers. Pretty morose with a dodgy shoulder. Gavin Main doesn't often go for 11. 17 so far off his 3. Lovely bit of in-flight analysis from Khaliq. Very much enjoyed my commentary debut here at Goldenacre. And Ayush Mahaputra to face the last ball of the 20th over. Main to bowl. Will he risk bowling short? I think not. Maybe looking to bowl full and outside off. Keep the tram lines in play.
Short fine leg in here for Gavin Main, so the option is a scoop. Any bat on it is a guaranteed 4 for Ayush. Gavin Main into bowl the last over, 3 from 17, 1 wicket, 11 runs to win. Arnie is called a tie. Men out are deep cover, long off and square leg. Gavin Main into his first. Ayush chips it, short ball, chips it to the 30-yard circle on the square leg, and they get a single. 10 off 5. Arnie is out of the commentating box and is pacing the side of the ground. Groundsman Callum Clarkson says he'll go over mid-off or go over cover. Gavin Main really taking his time here. Really letting Lakshmi wait. Mind games? Maybe not. Most likely Gavin Main being Gavin Main. In he comes, second ball the over. Full and straight, outside edge. Dougie Voas makes no mistake down at third man. Just a single. 9 off the 4. Double from Gavin Main beats Ayush Mahaputra's outside edge. 9 runs, 3 balls remaining. Ayush, if you want to win, scoop the ball. Gavin Main into his 4th. 1-1 dot. 1. Good decision there by Peter Ross, not letting the ball go through him, and deciding not to go with going through with the throw either. 8 runs to win, 2 balls remaining. Lakshmi Narayan on strike with his fabulously bright orange spikes. 1-1.1. Gavin Main in for the penultimate. Yorker delivery and confusion through the batsman, but they scamper through for a single. 7 required off the last delivery. As long as Gavin Main does not overstep, Heriot have won this game. Gavin Main into bowl the last to Ayush. Lovely shot. Inside out over cover. Goes for 4. Where was that before? I don't know. Heriot win the game. Great final over there from Gavin Main. 8 off it. Really a shot from Ayush there. Inside out over extra cover. Just unfortunately wasn't enough for them to see the game through. Arnie, thoughts?
I think the Archie boys will be deflated there. One of those things, But I tell you what, Heriot's have always been able to defend here at Goldenacre. Play the conditions well, sticky wicket, a bit stoppy, but good game of cricket all round there. Nice to see full 40 overs there and a low total defended well. My man of the match there, I think Joe Kinghorn great with 3 for not very many. I think from memory 17 odd. 3 for 24. So Corstorphine, Rue there, missed chances there, a couple of drops in the field, I think 3. Haunting them again once more. But I hope the boys all enjoy a beverage of some description of the nails before they all head home. And on to round 4, I think, in this group next week. I very much enjoyed my debut on comms with Khaliq and Kenneth here in association with Frogbox, the lovely VR play system. Let's have a good cricket season. Let's hope for a lovely bit of good weather. All the very best. Khaliq.
Great game here at Goldenacre. Down to the final over. That is round 4 completed in the Masterton Trophy. Round 5 next week, where Corstorphine take on Edinburgh South at home and Heriot take on Masterton at home. Win there for Heriot CC by 2 runs in the Masterton Trophy at Goldenacre.
Yeah, I'll see you Saturday regardless. Bye, Nick. Welcome.
Money on Douglas.
Yeah, we're just going to do a post-match interview, so...
That is us here from Goldenacre. We potentially have a post-match interview, so stay tuned for that.
No, it's all good, thanks.
Was Fargo still on?
Sorry. On Cobs, hurry up. So,
I would.
how are you? Finish this one.
You smashed it, bro.
By the way,
You smashed
you know what I'm the most proud of?
What?
I heard who's the guy on the stick?
George.
Dud. I went and did that at the moon.
Did you?